everyone. I'm sitting down today with my sister, and it doesn't sound right. It's more than friendship. It's family. Happy. Hi everyone, it's Women's Month and I have Miss Lebu with me. You guys have seen her before, and we did say this will be our anniversary.
Yes.
And here we are.
Indeed.
We are back and we are talking, since it's Women's Month, happy Women's Month everyone, all the ladies. And since it's Women's Month, I just thought, why not talk about the things that have contributed to the women that we are today.
Good or bad?
Good or bad, whatever angle we're taking, it is what we feel led to share. And yeah, I will start with you, babe.
Yes, I'm happy to be here. Happy
Yay! And welcome back.
And the theme of this year, I think, was what? Choose. It's fine.
Choose.
Yes, it was choose something. I forgot. I forgot.
We have chosen to be here,
right?
And we have chosen to share our stories.
Choose
so
freedom. Choose
we are
love.
choosing, yeah.
Choose sisterhood.
I'm choosing to let go of the shame.
Yes.
That's what I'm choosing. I'm choosing to let go of the shame, because sometimes we put ourselves in boxes, and we bring shame upon ourselves because of things that were done to us.
Yeah, that we had no control
We
over.
had no control over. So I will no longer shame myself for things that were done to me, and I was a child and it got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
But there's a scripture that I don't know where exactly it is in the Bible, but there's a scripture that says, what the devil meant for your evil, God will turn it around for your good.
Yes.
So,
and there's a double portion for whatever was stolen.
It comes back double.
Right.
Amen. Can I just lift my hands and receive right now? So yes, what are the things that have contributed to the lady that you are today, to the woman that you are today?
I think for me, I always identified myself as a strong, independent, focused young girl into womanhood. But I then realized that looking back, I did have daddy issues, although I never classified myself as having daddy issues. So my parents were in a toxic relationship. My biological father and my mom, that ended, they divorced, stepped into another relationship. So the communication on how it's going to be done and how things are going to adjust wasn't really
communicated.
Right? So I think those type of things with us and our mothers and fathers do bring hindrance in the trust and the relationship.
Later in life now, with your own life, your own marriage and relationships.
So if you don't identify, you don't deal with it. And dealing, there are a lot of things we can say we are dealing with. And how we deal with it, I think, is the most
what
important.
matters, because I think in life we are constantly dealing with this, dealing with that.
Right?
The how is the most important. Yeah.
So when you are in the godly space of dealing with healing, trauma, whatever it is that comes in between you and your now and your future, I think the God's way is the only way. I look back now and I'm like, I did hold a lot of resentment towards my own mother because of the lack of communication and the trust that I could no longer give her because of how our relationship turned out. We were very close before the divorce. And I felt my now stepfather took my place. As a child, that's what you see first. Also, I'm not the best friend anymore. He is.
Oh yes.
Right?
And I've watched movies and I would think the child is being unfair.
And irrational.
And irrational.
Childish.
You should understand. But sit back, walk a mile. Walk a mile on those shoes.
Because during the abuse and all the toxic environment, it was me and her. It's us first. And when you talk about your hurts, your love and your joys, it's still us.
And while now you guys, or rather your mom, when she told you about the way out of this unfavorable environment,
Yes.
she approached you, she consulted with
And
you.
came and said, baby, it's going to be the three of us. I have a younger brother after me. So moving forward, we're leaving this house. This is not a home for us anymore. Your father is not at a place where he can take care of us. So it's just us. And when she then decided we're adding another family, never did she come back and say, baby, we are adding another dad.
She went all alone
and two
fell in
sisters.
love.
Right?
Found love.
And you must remember, it's just been me and her and my younger brother, who's 6 years younger than me. So I've known my space to be my space.
Yeah.
And so when another man is coming, who gives her the love that she yearned for and she deserves, I didn't see it that way. I saw it as, you are in my space. You're sitting on my seat. And then I have to share her with 2 other girls.
Oof, that must have been hard on you.
I'm like, come on. You know.
But did that in any way make you rebellious?
You know, you look back and you think there are moments where you were acting out. You know, you want to spend less time in the house. So thank God for the friends I kept.
Yeah.
If I had chosen the wrong friends,
Oh yes.
I would have been in a different
So
picture.
you filled the void
with friendships.
with friendships.
100%.
Escaping this moment and saying, okay, if you're not going to give me, I'm going to find it. I'm going to create.
And
my
you know
own.
what? You could never really say my home was not a home. It was a home. My father was there. He's a father. My mom was there. But, you know, having the challenge of bringing 2 households together in one and making it one household is a challenge. So they have to be strong together first and then go to the kids.
Yes.
So that time of being strong together, the kids are on their own and trying to figure out their emotions. So my younger sisters, my stepsisters had each other.
Yeah.
They are 2 girls who are 2 years apart, 2-3 years
And
apart.
they grow up together.
Right? So when they're going through things, they cry together, they become angry together because remember, they feel like their mom has been replaced too.
True.
So I think there is that challenge that, okay, and me having the, you know, being resentful towards mom, and then you're growing up now, because this happened in primary, late primary, now you're going on to high school. Now you're realizing boys, right?
And these are the formative years where you are also finding who you are, your identity.
Yes.
And now the absence of that motherly love and fatherly love that you needed in those years, you're going to find it elsewhere.
So I found myself making friends with older girls. I've always, I had my standard, who's my sister now? Right, I mean, it's by default. You make friends your own age.
Yeah.
But my connection would be with the older ones. So I'm a junior with the older senior girls.
Yeah.
And in their clique, it's older senior boys. So junior girl who will date senior boys.
Senior boys.
And for me, it's always been protection.
Yeah.
But it was rationalized. No, but I can't date guys my age because they mistreat girls their age. You know, they will hold their hand and kiss them and tell the whole school by first break, I've kissed this girl, and the sacred space is no longer there. But you find the older boys know how to treat it better because they've been there. They've done it before. So you find comfort in that, and then that's how you mask it. Oh, no, but it's for my protection. But you don't realize you are going into unknown territories where you will sink.
Yeah, because it's bringing its own consequences.
Right?
Yeah, which you do not foresee.
These guys are much older, more experienced, so you are bound to be in uncomfortable situations here and there and learn, adjust quicker.
Yeah.
you know. So I think those are the type of things. And even in, you know, varsity, you're still in that space of old is preference. And when you are met with younger, you're like, boy, you're wasting my time. You don't appreciate the beauty of simplicity anymore, because you are just looking for that security that you lacked from childhood.
So you walked around from the time where this happened in your family to high school to now varsity. Am I correct to say during this time you are walking around with a mask?
100%.
Hiding the true level,
Yeah.
hiding your true emotions, and it's unbeknown to you, because for you that was your way of protecting yourself.
100%.
But it was the devil trying to break you down, and
Yes.
now you missed out on those moments where you were just needed to just be a child and be around your peers.
Yeah.
And simply be yourself, make your own mistakes, learn. Now you were forced to grow up quickly.
And you know, the thing is, it didn't seem bad because you were doing well academically. You get, in my primary years, I was hindered. And then it comes back again now and then where it disturbs you academically. That's when you know your emotions are not in check, because you're doing well and all of a sudden something happens and then you're, you know, you're backsliding with your grades. But because I was I was an excelling student in sports and academic.
Everything,
So it didn't take me a minute to say, no, but what's wrong? Nothing was ever wrong. Everyone around you loves who you are. Oh my goodness, you've got such confidence. But as you grow older, you look back, you realize that confidence was fake confidence. You know, I've always thought, okay, but when you walk in a room, everybody must see you. Everyone.
It mattered during those years, because I know even when I was in high school, you wanted to be famous. It didn't matter for what reasons.
For what
you
reasons?
wanted to be famous. So you were famous for your academic
Popularity
and sports and whatever.
Right.
You're an achiever or overachiever.
Overachiever.
And it mattered because it was building you into who you were at that time.
And although I didn't realize it then, it was that popularity gave me the attention I was lacking. I was feeling that void of dad is not here anymore. My biological father was not a great husband, but he was a good father.
Dad.
Right? So it's that thing that there is a void. I can't describe it. I can't put my finger on it. I'm too young to cancel myself and say, hey, but you've just been in a divorce, you know, because you do go through that divorce, although you're a child.
You do, and take time to grieve
the divorce.
the divorce and heal after grieving. And these things take years.
Right.
It's not okay, I'm okay now.
So that too, you know, so you are loving the attention, you are building yourself in that attention, and nothing seems wrong. And you look around like, oh, that's ticked. Oh, that's ticked. But the minute something happens that doesn't go your way, all of that comes crashing down. You forget that you're the most popular girl. You forget that you are a good athlete. It reminds you that something is wrong, but you don't quite know what it is.
You don't know what it is because you're a child also. And you've pushed the pain so far back that...
Suppressed it.
Yeah, you've suppressed it because you did not deal with it. And I mean, you were a child. How could you have known how to deal with it? Right. So what was the best way to do it? Mask it, suppress it, and push it back, that it will never come and show its ugly
coping
head.
mechanisms.
But as you grow, it keeps popping up. Popping up.
It will knock.
It will knock. Now, this is the moment, especially if you have a relationship with God, where you go back to God and cry your heart out and say, Lord, heal me. I'm not okay. Enough walking around with the mask. Help me. And I think life begins after that. Your true life, why you are here, begins after you have dealt with your skeletons.
Yes. And I think what helps as well, I had a grandmother.
Oh yeah, you've told me about your grandmother.
Right, my late grandmother. I mean, she was the support. She was the pusher, the first cheerleader.
The word of all the wisdom you needed as a child.
So even in that mess, because of that one wisdom, I knew where to go to where I needed deposit. You know, she would be the one praying for you. Felt those prayers even when she wasn't there. So she would be like, my baby, no matter what happens in life, God first.
Yeah.
You know, although you are God connected, but you don't have that relationship with God, you know, that one that nurtures you. When I find myself, because I would describe myself as, you know, I am confident, but I have depression. I would, right? Now I'm taking I'm making it me. I'm confident, I'm right, but I do have depression. So I live with depression.
Yeah.
Because you have those dark days and then you're like, oh, and you literally feel it. It's knocking. Hello, I'm here. Something is missing. It's me, your friend, your dark friend.
Yeah, your dark friend.
Right? And everything is going right, but you are not right.
No. And the reason why the dark friend keeps knocking is because
you haven't dealt with it.
You haven't dealt with it, and it's become part of your life. It's your normal state. I'll speak for myself. It's your normal state. So whenever it knocks, you open the door and say, okay, we are here now. You know, you don't stand up and fight and say, no, you are no longer welcomed.
Yeah.
No, you know, God says, not.
And remember when you were in high school, for me, because I was so busy, I would have the Bible there. But how many times did I open that Bible? You know, it's
time.
It's God, help me through the situation.
Yeah.
You know where I am, and that's it. You go to church. Sometimes you just take notes. Even you don't even open that Bible. You take notes. Oh, Jeremiah 29.
Do you ever revisit the notes that you've taken in January, in February?
That's when you are cleaning out the clutters.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, that used to be for church.
Which church was it? What was the pastor's?
Right.
Oh. I think we all go through the same things but differently. You know, it's not unique to you. And that's for me, that's what's comforting, or not really comforting, but healing to know that no one has a perfect life. No matter what pain you have, it's not just you. The devil is always using his old same tactics. You know, he doesn't change. He targets children while they are still very young and impressionable, and he wants to switch off that light that God has upon your life. He wants to, here's a clean cup, let's fill it with the dirtiest water. And then it's up to us that when we have now grown up, thank God for praying grandmothers, you know, because I think also she has deposited so much in you now. With her being absent, you have a reservoir where you keep going back and say, no, but Gogo used to do it like this. Gogo used to say this. And it's slowly but surely cleaning that dirty cup. And with the help of God, if you now have accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, He also is walking this road with you. And eventually you're going to get to the person that you were meant to be. You were meant to be. I did mention that there's a scripture that says, what the enemy or the devil meant for your evil, God turns it around for your good. Yeah. And you said it comes back double portion.
Double portion.
So life looks bright from here on.
Yeah.
But it's important to revisit those hurts and face them, deal with them, so that your life unfolds beautifully.
And that's the reason we don't dwell in the past, right? We don't dwell in that pain because we look forward to that double portion. You have the right, you have the blessing key of asking God and saying, God, I have gone through this. My double portion, please. I am ready for that double portion, please. Demanding it and saying, Lord, now is the time. Show me where it is that you're working now. I'm collecting my double portion.
And it's your actions also should be collecting. You walk, because life is a constant fight, babe. The devil is always prowling around looking for whom he can devour. But now when he starts, you're like, not here. I think that's the beginning where you're collecting what's yours forcefully, because it's gonna fight you. Now you're in the light. How dare you?
And the promise is we never have to try to convince God.
No, he
that,
said it.
Lord, please, Lord, it's
No.
time for this. Lord, please. Now, it's already there.
Yeah, he has said it, and he's a God of truth.
Right?
He will perform what he said he will do.
It's already there. Babe, what are your challenges that you grew up with that have formed you to being the person you are? Good and bad. What was the downfall and the breakthrough out of it for you?
A bit of a deep one for me, because it's one of the traumas that I experienced as a child. And it's something I've never actually openly spoken about. This is the first time I'm talking freely about it. I've told my husband. I think I've told a cousin or two in passing, but never really dealing with the emotions and asking God for healing. Hence I also said at the beginning that what I'm letting go of, it's the shame, because it's something that was done to me. I was molested as a child by a family relative. My parents were too busy making a living, you know. I have two brothers, and they are also consumed by their own lives. So this, when I think back when it started, I was still very young. And you know how when a child is told, don't tell anyone? For me, that was the prison. When you were told, don't tell anyone. And how can you tell? How are you going to start? You know? And I that pain for me, it has lingered for so many years. And how I've dealt with it was to suppress it as well, you know? And not freely talking about it and saying, this is how it made me feel. And I every time I look at when I go back home, I look at my childhood pictures, there's darkness around me at that time, you know. So I look at those pictures and I see this, there isn't even one picture where I'm smiling, sorry. I'm smiling and it's a reflection of a happy child, because that happy child was killed from, I think, age 5, if I think back now, and every time these people will come visit our home, there he comes, you know. And so it's been something that I've told myself, and I think as I've grown now, I was like, okay, but he passed away, so thank God. So it's dealt with. And you know, the scars, the trauma is still there, you know. So I think, how has that contributed to the woman I am now? It has contributed in a negative way and a positive way. Negative being, I've taught myself that there's no one out there to protect you. You have to protect yourself. And that closes the door even now for your spouse to come in and say, no, but I'll protect you. Like, no, I got this, you know. So you protect yourself even from the people that are here to love you.
Yeah.
And once they pick that up, it hurts them. And because I can't put it into words,
it's rejection.
It's rejection. You end up fighting about things that don't matter. But
that's where it stems.
Here's the sore point, and no one is going back to it, you know. And positively, it has made me a strong woman. I'm more resilient, and I believe I have a strong, my character is very strong.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So I think that can also be a negative, actually, because you don't let people in.
I think it used to be a negative because you hadn't confronted what was making you block.
Yeah.
You know, there's strength, and then there's strength that's fear motivated. I think once the fear is out, then that strength is a consistent, real, godly strength that then nothing shakes.
Yeah.
And you don't think hurt first when you are strong, right? You think, okay, I'm strong, I will deal with whatever comes.
Yeah.
And when things arise, you don't think protection first.
Yeah. So it has been that for me that I want to touch on, but I feel this particular childhood trauma is one that has played the biggest, and I've needed to forgive the person even though they are no longer on this earth. I've needed now to, because I believe you need to revisit those hurtful moments, those scars, in order to get your healing. For as long as I've been avoiding it, my life is not really 100% the way it should be. And I think I've been in this prison, and mentally now, the mental prisons that have stemmed from this, because now things are not flowing the way they're supposed to flow. And it brings also things like self-doubt. You know, you're always, I'm always having to fight through life because things, I think I lost my identity way before I could actually figure out who am I, you know. So I've had to say, okay, I have a strength of character, then I will hold on to this, you know. And I believe now when I started crying out to God, and God has just been confirming that, yes, this needs to happen. Yes, you need to open up, because there's a person out there who has also been wounded the way you have been wounded. And God has been there for me. And I don't think if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here. Because there are people who take the other road, you know, become other things because we deal with situations differently. And I also think having, because my dad was very strict, so he was like my hero in the sense that should anyone look at me, he will deal with them. So I think I also found with him, unbeknown to him, but I also found my refuge in a strong father. That, oh, you know, my mom is a softie. Yes. And but the fact that my dad, I thought he was my protector. If he's not there, I'll protect myself. Right. You know. So I need to let go of that pain. I need to soften up and allow, like my husband, to play the role of a protector.
And you know what's so weird? I was telling her the last time that she always identifies herself as, you know, hard exterior and yes, the world.
Because I believe that's how this thing has shaped me.
I think the world that comes across you that doesn't have the luxury of your time sees that too, because that's what you portray, right? But I was saying to her, she's like the softest teddy bear. Once you break through that wall, if you are strong enough
to stick around, here is the woman that keeps coming back. Hey, no matter how much you punch, oh babe, the abuse that you must go through to get to that teddy bear, though. Hey,
but you know what I love, right? Because there are times where I am a little too soft, and then she's there to, you know, and then she kind of brings me back to say, okay, no. And then when she's too tough, I'm like,
sister, no.
And then she's like, oh, okay.
Relent. So I think I needed, like I told you, once, I can't even remember when I prayed this prayer, but it was an intentional prayer where I said to God, I need my own. I'm tired of being this and this to other people. Now I'm becoming emotional. I'm tired of being this and this to other people. I also need a person who will be there for me and, you know, bring out the good in me. And there comes you. And I don't even think our relationship is because of our kids. No. I think we just connected. I remember even the time you came out of your house, me standing outside
waiting for Musa to come back because he had come in the key.
No.
When?
I had asked him to go knock because your husband left the keys.
Yes. And he still does that, by the way.
He left the car keys outside the door. And I'm like, okay, don't know what happens in this. Just go tell. They are new here, you know. And I just remember you came out, you know, so warm, and your daughter there behind you. And I was like, oh. And I didn't even think too much of that situation. I saw this lovely lady, greeted, did the neighborly thing, and moved on.
Right.
You know, and here we are now.
Yeah.
Sitting and you breaking me like this.
It's so weird because she's the one that's always been so warm.
I'm not the one who breaks down, you know. This is the thing also, how this trauma has shaped me. I don't deal with emotions kindly. Although I'm a vulnerable person. I don't mind being vulnerable, but it matters to who
it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I think I don't need to take you home. Trust me, I will deal with you the way I feel you should be dealt with at that moment. And I feel that also it's wrong, because why are you reacting to other people's behaviors? You know?
But that's where the hurt is.
That's
right?
why now, because you are I'm still wounded and hurt, you're gonna just, and hurt people.
Of course.
So I'm tired of walking around with hurt that came as a result of other people's demons. Now I must also pick those things. No. Yeah. It has come to a point where I'm putting my foot down and saying, I've been this woman, and I believe God has something better for me.
100%. And you've always, for me, been such like a teacher. So I don't know if automatically, because she didn't know that I was much older, I'm much younger than her.
No.
We first connected, we liked each other's connection, and it was just inseparable.
Before you continue, I think when I did realize that you were younger, I was
so
tempted to take a step back. I'm like, no, we're not gonna click.
She's like,
you're not gonna think the way I'm thinking. You're not gonna be where I want you to be mentally when I need you.
She goes back to her husband and she's like, oh, baby.
Oh, no, it's not gonna work. No, sorry. No, I don't do kids. No.
She's my junior. And thank goodness. For Musa's dad,
yeah,
he's like, no,
yeah,
don't
give
be too
people a
hasty.
chance. Oh, my angel. Give people a chance. He always says that to me. I promise I'll come back. One time I came back from gym, I'm like, you know, love. He's like, no, no. Don't close that door quick. Give people a chance.
And what I love about you two, I think, you know, the devil has to attack what he sees first as bright, you know, because I've always said how I've always known you to be a godly person is that you're so transparent. She can't hide.
No.
She can't hide.
I speak first and I'm like,
even her reactions, she can be quiet, but then it's written all over. That answer, she's already answered you with her face, with her body language. You don't have to hear anything.
This has offended you in any way, but this is who I am, babe.
I mean, Musa and I talk about this all the time. Like, okay, Mus, if you guys are going home and it's enough now, you know, you just look at mom, you know it's enough.
Yeah.
And you must say to your friends, okay, guys, it's home time, or let's go outside.
Yeah.
Give mama space.
And I love how you sometimes, and I'd feel, it's okay, babe, let the kids be here. And you're like, babe, if you want your space, if you want your me time, tell them to come across.
Because, you know, and I think that's the beauty of relationship,
yeah.
right? You learn each other.
And you understand me so well.
And you shouldn't expect the next person to be like you, right? It's like, okay, I don't mind all that noise.
Yeah.
And then you mind the noise to be.
I do.
Right? And you're like, okay, 20 minutes, the noise is fine. After 20 minutes, I'm okay.
I'm okay. But the meditations that I'm doing lately, they're teaching me to be, when you like now trying to center yourself and focus. Let's make an example. Like your point of focus is your breathing, and then there's something disturbing. There's this nagging noise that's disturbing. Change it around. Make that your point of focus, and
Use it.
And use it. It eventually disappears and stops irritating you. And I think how God is just designing my steps now. I'm not one to. I've been exposed to people who meditate, and I'll be thinking, weirdos, but they are the most calm people.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know how I stumbled upon me now starting to. I think it's my mindfulness journey, because we started this together with hubby. Like, we'll go on a mindful walk, you know. And I think I took it a step further and delved more into, now I'm going to be meditating. And I read up about also burning of incense.
Yes.
Before, remember,
and I
we've
found the
spoken
store
about
for
it.
us.
I found it as well.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to make you smell the other
All
one.
right.
Because growing up, I was told, no, incense, no. You know, and I just...
Other religions.
Yeah, other religions. And I've just sat and I thought, okay, why am I doing this? What does it bring? What is the reason? What is the purpose for me to do this? And how does it make me feel? And is there any sin in that? No. So I think also I've become too hard on things that I don't want to say this is my personality, because I block anything that comes across as different to what I believe. No.
Not in my space.
Not in my space. No, I will not do. I'm not that kind of person. Yesterday, I read a quote that says, normalize telling the people in your life that you love them.
Yeah.
And I'm not one who walks around saying, I love you that often. I say it to my family, because I do love my husband. I do love our son. I do love our parents, you know. But normalize telling people that you love them and appreciate them. And I think the times we're living in right now,
Even more imperative.
even more important. Let people know that they are appreciated. Let people know that they are loved, because people are going through the most. People are dealing with a lot. So I think also just sitting and talk to yourself. I talk to myself a lot. Talk to people. Don't think problems are you.